Hi everybody, my name is Roman and it's Marketing Wish House, and today we continue talk about search ads. We had quite a gap after the latest video that is quite popular on this channel, and I wanted to tell you how to create keywords for Apple search ads. Because first of all, if you have some experience with Google Ads or Bing Ads or any other search advertising system, you probably will try to use the same approach here and it won't work. Or you probably don't have any experience, and in that case I will show you the best practice for today for the summer 2019, and probably will be the same practice for at least the next year. So let's start. What first thing we need to understand, to remember, is that how people looking something in Apple search ads. Despite the fact that it has the same search bar that the Google have or Bing have or anything else, people do not type details there. People do not search for really big things like how to repair the washing machine. What people are really looking for is a quite short things, and they're very solution oriented. What I mean by solution oriented? When we have a pain, when we're trying to solve something inside our head, for example, we understand that it's raining outside, the tram or the bus is not even close, and the car is not available right now, so we're thinking about how to get home. And this is our pain. But what we are thinking really about is a taxi. This is a solution. So if we go to Google Ads, we'll try to find something taxi from Berlin Center to Pankow, or from London to from I don't know, Westminster to Greenwich. If you go to Apple search ads, we will just type there taxi, and that's a very important thing. So the example here is that people are not looking for something like how to get from Paddington to Westminster. They're actually looking for London Tube map or London Tube, or even more shorter than like Tube map. And we have to remember this rule. This is very important. So when we're trying to find several keywords, we use the same approach as everywhere. We define several main clusters or groups of our keywords. The most important here, and I think this is the most useful and flexible structure you can actually use, is three main groups. So first is generic, second is competitor, and the third is related apps. Generic things is something that actually describes the pain, like taxi, but it's extremely short, or train ticket, or train, or I don't know, furniture online, or I don't know, groceries online, like anything that actually does not describe any existing solution. Then we have a competitor names, the guys that actually sells the same product as we sell, and we just make advertising on their brands, and it's quite legal, so no worries about that. And the third thing is related apps or activities, something that actually does not represent the product we sell, does not represent the competitor product, it is just connected to what we sell. For example, if somebody is looking to buy some batteries and you have a grocery store, despite the fact that batteries is not the most important thing you want to sell, person who can come to your grocery store will probably buy something additional to the batteries. Or you sell the tickets, and you can make advertising on other people that actually sells emotion tours, or just like all-inclusive tours or something like that. So, make long story short, let's just have a look at an example. For example, we make advertising for Google Maps. This is the structure, and this is the groups I would create from the very beginning, from first approach. And I can definitely say to you that I haven't spent here more than 10 minutes on creating this. So if you really know your product, you will probably find out more than 10 different groups. But I just wanted to make you a very good example. So first is generic problem, something that is extremely related to our app, and something is extremely easy to find out. For example, city maps, London maps, city transport, British maps, and you see, like city transport is quite related topic. It's very generic, and it's not the same as Google Maps, but Google Maps contain this product inside, so we can make advertising there. Another group is the competitors, for example, Maps.me, Yandex Maps, or Waze, or like a lot of other different maps application that you just need to type there and to make advertising on them. Because Apple Search Ads is not like Google. If somebody is looking for brand, he is very likely to switch to another brand because this is an application. He's quite sure that it has everything inside, unless you're selling something like BMW. Yeah, in that case it would be different. For example, transport providers, if you have been to London or you know that Air is a very popular train provider there, also Oyster card is something that allows you to go to the tube and to travel around the London. London Tube is just a map, and London Tube has an application, if I'm not mistaken. Virgin Trains is also a brand of train provider, and the guess here is that people is looking for something to navigate through the London, and he's looking for something that is very related. He will be very likely to also download our app, despite the fact that currently, right now, we are not ready to sell this product. Also, navigation related like taxi, cabs, Uber, Lyft, London parking, something that people will struggle with. But again, because these people that actually looking for taxi and cabs anyway are looking for maps and they have this problem to navigate through London, they will definitely download our app. The chance of this is very, very high. Journey related, for example, Get Your Guide the Last Minute is quite far away from what we sell because these guys actually sales emotion trips, but they are actually related to our app, but it's not very close relation. It's just like very far relation. And we definitely want to try this again for the same approach, because Apple search ads does not answering the biggest pain right here, right now. It's not like somebody is going to Google and typing exactly very, very detailed query. For example, when I'm looking for car sharing, for example, I see Drive Now outside in Europe, I will probably download another car sharing and also Google Maps because I would need some maps navigation in cities I've never been to. And another thing is the places. For example, if somebody is looking for Westminster, Paddington, or Heathrow, or Big Ben, all this stuff is actually very related to navigation through the city. Despite the fact that it's not a competitor, it's not a generic problem, and it's not a transport navigation, something else, this is exactly application of the places, and people probably wanted to download them to get a ticket there. It is still very related to navigation through the city, and probably the next problem after you come out of the Paddington or Westminster, you will need Google Maps to navigate through London. So what this all tells us that we actually trying to create a lot of different ad groups with different bits inside and to structure them by the same topic. To make them really efficient, we need to understand one thing, that broad or DSA, like it's two different things in Apple Search Ads, but they are very, very close to each other because broad in Apple Search Ads is extremely broad. Like it can make advertising on a very unrelated topics. So broad is not something that we actually can measure on a daily basis. What we're doing here, we're trying to create a model that will actually give us a chance to analyze the results and adjust with a very high, precise data. So we create two different types of campaigns. First, we create the broad campaign, and the second, we create exact campaign with exactly the same ad groups, with exactly the same keywords, but we put all exact keywords as a negatives to the broad campaign. So what actually will happen? If somebody is looking for a tube map and we have it as exact and we have it as a broad will not be triggered. We will do exact advertising. But broad will trigger for a lot of other search queries that can be related to our app, and that will give us a keyword expansion. So again, we have exact campaign with all ad groups, we have a broad campaign with all ad groups plus DSA, and we put all exact keywords to a broad campaign as a negative on a campaign level, and in that case we're absolutely sure that exact campaign gives us exact data for each keyword and we can analyze this and adjust, and broad campaigns just give us an ability to find something new. Each time we find something new in the broad campaign, we put it as a negative there and put this keyword in exact and then test. So our life cycle is very simple. Every week we download all search terms, we cluster them in our buckets, then we create a bucket for trash unrelated keywords, for example like negatives, for those search terms that actually are not related to us. And if this is not a bad keyword, we wanted to try this out, we put this as an exact campaign and we put it as a negative to broad. But if it's a bad keyword, for example it's from our trash bucket, we just put it as a negative to broad and we put it on a campaign level. Only in that case we can delete these keywords from all possible search terms. And one more thing I forgot to mention before, we only analyze exact keywords, and that happens because the broad are too broad. So the whole these things has only one purpose: to create a living exact campaign that actually generates our traffic and gives us a pure data, and the broad campaign that gives us a lot of unrelated traffic but gives us an ability to find new keywords, because the way people looking something in the search ads is not very common and easy to understand. So that's all I wanted to tell you. Thank you very much for watching. Please ask your questions below and subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to film another very interesting video how to create a good expansion campaign with DSA. Stay tuned and see you soon. Bye bye.